don't say that they have sent for them also some ways of expressing their deep feeling. Otherwise, he has no further business in Vrindavan. Haribo. He is now in town. What does he have to know about Vrindavan village or the cows pasturing grounds? These things are not at all useful for Krishna because he is now a man in the city. This village girl, they said, and now when he will meet with the girls of the cities, he will forget us. But Krishna never forget anyone. So they continue. Surely he has nothing to do with person who do not happen to be his family members. Why should one bother about those who are outside of the family? Especially and specifically those who are attached as the wives of others. They really repent. Krishna is interested in them as long as there is a need of gratification, like the bumblebees who have interest in the flowers as long as they want to take the honey out of them. They are chastising Krishna. It is very natural and psychological that a prostitute does not care for her paramour as soon as he loses his money. Haribo. This is true, If you lose the money and if you file for bankruptcy 13, and then you try to reach out to your friend and see how many people will even answer your phone call. All this world is based on that money part. Better we realize soon than later. Similarly, when the citizens find that a government is incapable of giving them full protection, which is happening nowadays, they will leave the country. Where do we go? That's what Prabhupada, I remember, Tamal Krishna Maharaj said with me. We were walking on the TC Jester Park. And he said, actually, Prabhupada want to establish a farm community. But farm community means everything should be natural. Nobody should go out of the farm for anything. No hospital, no doctors, no other thing, no work outside the farm. Everything should be. And we should plant everything. He said that you should plant those castor oil plant, and with the bullock cart you should crush them, make the oil, used for lighting. No dependency. That's what Prabhupada really wants the farm community, to show us the alternate way of life. But he was very practical. He told me, unless and until you have 50, 60 devotees family who really wants to live that simple life, don't buy the land. He said it will fail. A student, after finishing his education, gives up his relationship with the teacher and the school. Our Gopal Hari Prabhu will be thinking what will happen to his student at the university. A rich man, after taking his reward from his worshipper, gives him up. When the fruit season is over, the birds are no longer interested in the tree. Just after eating in the house of the Lord, the guest gives up his relationship with the host. After a forest fire, when there is a scarcity of green grass, the deer and other animals gives up the forest. And so a man, after enjoying his girlfriend, gives up his connections with her. Haribol. I have that one, our member, His father has the electrical business, and they always help us to provide the electrical services. And his son got married, I think, I don't know, not more than a year or something. And I heard that now he is getting divorced. This is age of Kali. What is the promise we made when we get married? All this has no value. That's why I always recommend, you know, that in the marriage, don't spend too much money. Because even if you call so many people, I guarantee you they socialize. That Murli Manohar Prabhu came to invite me for his daughter's marriage. And son-in-law was also accompanying him. So I told his son-in-law also that, we should not spend that much money on marriage because I guarantee you, not even a one person will pray for the newlywed from their heart that Krishna, please bless this couple. They don't have time. They will just socialize with other people. So what is the use of feeding those people, spending unnecessarily money? Rather give them the money so they don't mortgage that house. This is something that we have given up our culture in India. We never used to borrow anything. If you have the money, buy that whatever you have. If you have a money, you buy a car. If not, buy a scooter, moped. If you don't have it, buy a bicycle. And if you don't have money to buy a bicycle, you walk. But they never used to borrow the money. And when we came to the Western world, we get influence on everything. We get money, including the furniture and the equipment even in the house. What a degraded life we are living. Haribol. At least I was saved after the initiation. I have never borrowed any money. Everything has been paid for. I have no debt at all. Zero. Don't spend money unnecessarily. In this way, all the gopis begin to indirectly accuse Krishna by citing so many similes. Uddhava understood that the gopis of Vrindavan were all simply absorbed in the thought of Krishna and his childhood activities. While talking about Krishna with Uddhava, they forgot all about their household business. They even forgot about themselves as their interest in Krishna increased more and more. Wonderful example exhibited if you really dwell into the life, see the feeling they carry in their heart. And thought that we carry will become a reality one day. One of the gopis, who is that? Srimati Radharani, was so much absorbed in thoughts of Krishna by dint of a personal touch with him that she actually began to talk with a bumblebee, which was flying there and trying to touch her lotus feet. While another gopi was talking with Krishna's messenger Uddhava, Srimati Radharani took that bumblebee to be a messenger from Krishna and began to talk with as follows. This is what they do. They will always think about it. Quote, bumblebee, you are accustomed to drinking honey from the flowers, and therefore you have preferred to be a messenger of Krishna, who is the same nature as you. They just take the nectar and leave. What a way of speaking. I have seen in your mustache the red powder of kumkum, which was smeared on the flower garland of Krishna while he was pressing the breast of some other girl who is my competitor, speaking about Haribo. You are feeling very proud by touching that flower, and your mustache have become reddish. You have come here carrying a message for me. You are anxious to touch my feet, but my dear bumblebee, let me warn you, don't touch me. I don't want any message from your unreliable master. You are the unreliable servant of an unreliable master. It may be that Srimati Radharani purposely addressed that bumblebee sarcastically in order to criticize the messenger Uddhava. What a nice analogy, huh? Indirectly, Srimati Radharani saw Uddhava as not only resembling Krishna's bodily future, but as being equal to Krishna, as cruel as Krishna. Haribol. In this way, she indicated that Uddhava was an unreliable as Krishna himself. And Srimati Radharani wanted to give specific reasons why she was dissatisfied with Krishna and his messengers. Haribol. They don't afraid of saying, revealing their mind and heart, huh? Because they have nothing else in their life except Krishna. She addressed the bumblebee, continued, your master Krishna is exactly of your quality. You sit down on a flower, and after taking a little honey, you immediately fly away and sit in another flower and taste. You are just like your master Krishna. He gave us the chance of tasting the touch of his lips and then left altogether. I know also that the goddess of fortune Lakshmi, who is always in the midst of the lotus flower, is constantly engaged in Krishna's service. But I do not know why she has become so captivated by Krishna. She is attached to him, although she knows his actual character. As far as we are concerned, we are more intelligent than that goddess of fortune. We are not going to be cheated anymore by Krishna or his messengers. What a strong message she is delivering to Uddhava. According to expert opinion, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, is subordinate expansions of Srimati Radharani. And as Krishna has numerous expansions of Vishnu Murtis, so his pleasure potency Radharani also has innumerable expansions of goddess of fortune. Therefore, the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi ji, is always anxious to be elevated to the position of the gopis. I was listening to the Brahma Samhita class of Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and he was saying even the pure devotees has the capacities to expand as many forms as they wish. Haribol. Srimati Radharani continued, you foolish bumblebee, you are trying to satisfy me and get a reward by singing the glories of Krishna. But it is a useless attempt. We are bereft of all our possessions. We are away from our homes and families. We know very well about Krishna. We know even more than you. So whatever you make up about him will be old stories to us. Krishna is now in the city and is better known as the friend of Arjuna. He now has many new girlfriends, and they are no doubt very happy in association with him. Because the lusty burning sensation of the breast has been satisfied by Krishna, they are now happy. If you go there and glorify Krishna, they may be pleased to reward you. You are just trying to pacify me by your behavior as a flatterer, and therefore you have put your head under my feet. But I know the trick which you are trying to play. I know that you are a messenger coming from a great trickster, Krishna. Therefore, please leave me. Haribo. I can understand that you are very expert in reuniting two opposing parties. But at the same time, you must know that I cannot place my reliance upon you, nor upon your master Krishna. We left our families, husband, children, and relative only for Krishna. And yet, he did not feel any obligation whatsoever in exchange. He has left us for lost. Do you think we can place our faith in him again? We know that Krishna cannot be long without the association of young women. That is his nature. He is finding difficulty in Mathura because he is no longer in the village among innocent cowherd girls. He is in an aristocratic society and must be feeling difficulty in making friendship with the young girls. Perhaps you have come here to canvass again or to take us there. But why should Krishna expect us to return there? He is greatly qualified to entice all other girls, not only in Vrindavan or Mathura, but all over the universe. His wonderfully enchanting smile is so attractive, and the movement of his eyebrows is so beautiful that he can call for any woman from the heavenly, middle, or plutonic planets. Mahalakshmi, the greatest of all the goddess of fortune, also hanker to render him some service. In comparison to all these women of the universe, what are we? We are very insignificant. Hope we can realize one day how insignificant we are. Krishna advertised himself as very magnanimous, and he is praised by great saints. His qualification could be perfectly utilized if he would only show us mercy, because we are downtrodden and neglected by him. You poor messenger, you are only a less intelligent servant. You do not know much about Krishna, how ungrateful and hard-hearted he has been, not only in this life, but in the previous life also. We have all heard this from our grandmother, Purnamasi. She has informed us that Krishna was born in a Kshatriya family previous to this birth and was known as Ramachandra. And in that birth, instead of killing Vali, an enemy of his friend, in the manner of a Kshatriya, he killed him just like a hunter. A hunter takes a secure hiding place and then kills an animal without facing it. So Lord Ramchandra as a Kshatriya should have fought with Vali face to face, but instigated by his friend, he killed him from behind a tree. Thus he deviated from the religious principle of a Kshatriya. Also, he was so attracted by the beauty of Sita that he converted Shurpanaka, the sister of Ravana, into an ugly woman by cutting off her nose and ears. What a coincidence, huh? We were at the Kubja place today. That's in the previous life, she was Shurpanaka, the sister of Ravana, into an ugly woman by cutting off her nose and ears. Shurpanaka proposed an intimate relationship with him, And as a Kshatriya, he should have satisfied her. But he was so selfish that he could not forget Sita Devi and converted Surpanakha into an ugly woman. Before that birth as a Kshatriya, he took his birth as a Brahmana boy, known as Vamandev, and asked charity from Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj was so magnanimous that he gave him whatever he had. Yet Krishna as Vamandev ungratefully arrested him just like a crow and pushed him down to the Patal kingdom. We know all about Krishna and how ungrateful he is, but here is the difficulty. In spite of his being so cruel and hard-hearted, it is very difficult for us to give up talking about him. Not only are we unable to give up this talk, but great sages and saintly persons are also engaged in talking about him. We gopis in Vrindavan do not want to make any more friendship with this blackish boy, but we do not know how we shall be able to give up remembering and talking about his activities. What a wonderful thing. Like when I did like this, that Krishna is cruel and he is so magnanimous, contradictory things like His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj. He is so expert that he will challenge his god brother even, sannyasis. And he will say, prove that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj will defeat them. And he will prove Krishna is not Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj will say, okay, now I'm going to say opposite and you prove me wrong. And he defeat again. So nice, gifted personality by Prabhupada that entrusted them to finish the rest of the Bhagavatam. Those divine personalities so nice to be associated with, They are so nice. I remember one time I was taking Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj in the winter time to airport. And in the middle, suddenly Maharaj asked me, Shyamsundar Prabhu. And I always think, why they say Prabhu to us? We are Das. But so they are so loving. Anyway, Maharaj says, Shyamsundar Prabhu, tell me which is the best car. And I don't know this expensive car name even today. So I was puzzled, knowing that Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj told me, the car which get hot very quickly is the best car. Because Maharaj doesn't like the cold weather. He will happily stay in 100-degree room without AC. And same thing with me. I was in Toronto doing my master's at University of Toronto. And I have in my room the globe. And I was just looking on the globe around at the same level of India. So the weather can be the same warm. And I found right opposite to India, Texas map, which is also very similar to India. So I make up my mind that after I graduate, I will go directly to Houston, Texas. So I moved to the Houston, Texas in 1978, and this is my eternal home. I have no plan to move anywhere, not even to Vrindavan, because Radha Nilamadava's lotus feet is not different than Radha Shyamsundar or Radha Madhav. As we see that the Srinathji Gopal asked Madhavendra Puri to get the chandan and the camphor from Malayalam forest. But seeing that effort of Madhavendra Puri, when he reached the Radha Gopinath temple, then Gopal appeared in the dream and said, "This enough is enough. You just put the chandan on me and Gopalji will feel cool." So all these deities are identical. They have one mission to get us attracted somehow or other. For whichever way we can get attracted, they give all kind of different things so we can get attracted by something. This is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. So those devotees who has to take up another duty, they can live. And the devotees who want to hang around for another 1 hour or so, they can hang around. We'll be chanting. As soon as today I'm going to finish at 8 o'clock, I'm going to walk in my garden. It will look so